In the annals of military history, the tank has always been the ultimate expression of industrial might. In the Second World War, the Soviet T-34 rolled off the lines at Uralvagonzavod and changed the world. Today, at that very same facility in Nizhny Tagil, history is echoing, but it is not a repetition, it is an evolution. A recent report published by Military Watch magazine confirms that the Russian army has received a fresh batch of main battle tanks: the cutting-edge T-90M Proryv, the cold weather specialist T-80BVM, and the workhorse of the offensive, the T-72B3M. These are not just vehicles pulled from deep storage and dusted off. According to Rostec, these specific units represent the purest form of combat learning. They have been built and upgraded based on direct feedback from the front lines of the Ukrainian theater. To a Western observer, managing 3 different main battle tanks in a modern war might look like a logistical nightmare. But for the Russian military, the T-90, T-80, and T-72 are not competitors. They are a toolkit. Each one solves a specific tactical problem. First, we have the T-72B3M. This is the baseline, the Kalashnikov of tanks. It is being fielded in massive numbers. However, do not confuse the B3M with the older T-72s you saw in storage yards a decade ago. The T-72B3M is the result of a brutal optimization process. It is affordable enough to produce in the hundreds per year, yet lethal enough to engage any NATO counterpart. It carries the upgraded 2A46 M5 smoothbore gun and the Relect explosive reactive armor. Then, there is the T-80BVM. This tank is unique because of its gas turbine engine. It guzzles fuel like a fighter jet, that is its only real vice, but in the freezing, muddy Rasputitsa, it outperforms everything else on tracks. It doesn't suffer from cold start issues like diesel engines. On the northern axis and in rapid breakthrough operations, the T-80 provides the sprint speed that the heavier T-90 cannot match. And finally, the crown jewel, the T-90M Proryv breakthrough. This is the high-end asset. It is the most heavily armored vehicle in the Russian fleet, aside from the rare T-14. The T-90M is the commander's tank. It is the one sent into the most dangerous fortified grid squares. The decision to deliver all 3 types simultaneously tells us that Russian industry has stopped thinking in terms of replacing old models and started thinking in terms of optimizing the fleet for the war of attrition. If you look back at the photographs from 2022, you saw Russian tanks covered in improvised metal grills, nicknamed cope cages by internet observers. They looked ugly, they looked desperate. But here is the reality of military engineering. Desperation is the mother of invention. Rostec has confirmed that these new batches are being built with integrated anti-drone protection. This isn't a field modification anymore. The upper hemisphere protection for the engine and transmission compartments is now factory standard. This is a direct response to the threat of first-person view drones and loitering munitions, which hunt the thin top armor of any tank in the world. Specifically, look at the T-90M. We are seeing the integration of the Arena-M hard-kill active protection system. This is the Russian equivalent to the Israeli trophy system. It uses radar to detect an incoming rocket or drone and fires a fragmentation blast to destroy it before impact. The West has talked about doing this for years. Russia is now fielding it in a war of high-intensity conflict. Furthermore, the electronic warfare suites inside these tanks have been upgraded significantly. The modern battlefield is an invisible web of radio frequencies. By jamming the frequencies used by Ukrainian drone operators, these new T-72B3Ms and T-80BVMs create a bubble of safety. It's a constant game of cat and mouse, but this delivery badge proves that Russian industry is currently winning that adaptation race. But a tank is not a bunker, it is a gun. And the lethality of these 3 vehicles has increased exponentially. The key upgrade across the board is the sighting system. The T-72B3M which was once criticized for having night vision comparable to a 1980s camcorder, now fields a modern third-generation thermal sight. In the dense tree lines of the Donbass, the ability to spot a camouflaged anti-tank team at 3,000 meters is the difference between life and death. We are also seeing a tactical shift in how these tanks are used. They are increasingly acting as snipers. Statements from Rostec officials, like Industrial Director Bekhan Ozdoev, highlight that tanks are now being used in coordination with UAVs for the sniper destruction of single, small-sized targets. Here is how that works in practice. A cheap reconnaissance drone flies forward, spots a Ukrainian position in a tree line. Instead of calling for artillery, which takes minutes, the drone operator guides a T-90M to the exact GPS coordinate. The T-90M uses its advanced wind sensors and ballistic computer to fire a single, high-explosive fragmentation round. That round lands directly on the trench before the enemy can even react. That is the future of armored warfare. The tank becomes the heavy-caliber sniper, and the drone is its spotting scope. This integration is the lesson learned that has been baked into these new vehicles. One of the loudest talking points coming out of Kyiv and Washington for the past 2 years has been the claim that Russia is running out of tanks, that the famous Soviet stockpiles are empty. The delivery of this batch suggests the opposite is true. Let's look at the math, specifically from the Military Watch Report. In 2020 and 2021, Uralvagonzavod produced roughly 90 to 110 T-90s per year. In 2024, that number tripled to nearly 300 units. You cannot triple production of a complex machine like a T-90M if your industrial base is collapsing. You can only do that if you are in full wartime mobilization. Yes, it is true that the T-72B3M and T-80BVM are often refurbished hulls. That is a feature, not a bug. The Soviet legacy left behind thousands of hulls. By taking a hull built in 1985, stripping it down to the metal, adding a new engine, new armor package, and a new digital fire control system, you produce a vehicle that fights like a 2025 model at the cost of a 1990 model. This specific batch, delivered by Rostec, is not just about replacing losses. It is about expanding the Army. Every single one of these tanks, the 72, the 80, and the 90, is a mobile fortress designed to support ongoing offensive operations. The director of Uralvagonzavod, Alexander Potapov, compared these vehicles to the T-34. He wasn't just being patriotic. The T-34 won because the Soviets could produce 50,000 of them. Today, the Russian defense industry is proving it can maintain a tempo of production that the Ukrainian side, dependent on Western scraps, cannot hope to match. Until now, that's all for today, and thanks for watching.